Get ready for Peas in the Podcast. And now, your hosts, Woodcomb and Rachel.
Hello, guys. Welcome back to our Peace in a Podcast. Today we have Asmi Shrestha with us.
And before we start, we just want to thank all of you for the incredible support and the love that you've shown. It's way more than what we would have expected. And I'm really
Thank you,
surprised.
guys.
I'm really surprised that all of you like the podcast, since I thought we came off pretty awkward and weird, but apparently it was good.
I think it was so awkward that they found it good and like entertaining.
Yeah, it was candid. Okay, so like, I don't know. It was your first time, so it was very entertaining though.
So I thought ours was like really unique, but then I googled Peace in a Podcast and I found like two more podcasts that had the same name, and I was like, shit. But no, there were like two Peas in a podcast, or they were like
No, but the thing is that if you look up Peas in a Podcast now on YouTube, ours is the first video that pops up, so that's an achievement.
Ooh.
Or maybe it's
Y'all
just
are original and entertaining.
that's the goal.
Thank you, Asmi.
So Asmi, why don't you tell us a bit about yourself?
Bruh, don't put me on the spotlight, man. I'm Asmi. I'm Asmi Shrestha. I left Rato Bangla and now I don't have friends.
And she doesn't have
I'm
a school
sorry.
that she goes to. She's
Oh yeah. Yeah. Dude, I might just like end up as the class of 2023 from 2021. I swear to God.
Asmi is one of the sweetest people I've ever met. She's so nice. And she's very quirky.
I'm blushing behind the camera, Satsi. Don't do this to me.
No, we're just stating facts, I guess.
Yeah, I'm the cutest.
Like,
Huh?
no, my description of Asmi won't be as sweet as Utkam's was, because like,
Dude, Rachel, we've known each other for too long, okay?
yeah, it's been too long since we've known each other, and I don't remember you most of like grade 1 to 3, but then I think from 4 I really like there was bad blood between us.
Dude, Rachel, grade 1, Bunny, I didn't like. I think I don't have distinct memories of you from grade 1, but I didn't like you, okay? Like, you know what I mean?
Like I just
For everyone,
I remember
yeah.
not liking you from 4th grade. Like that's the first memory I have of like not liking you at all.
Okay, I don't remember distinctly what happened in grade 1, but there was this thing where you were like alikati mean. I think you were mean to somebody, and I was like, I don't like this. But grade 4, dude, y'all don't know how much beef Rachel and I had in the past, man.
I don't even know how it started. I just didn't like Asmi. She didn't like me back, and it just
Yeah.
carried on to like grade 8.
Dude, like, I have this weird memory of coming in the sandpit and then Rachel just screaming at me, and then I left. Okay, like that's how bad our beef was.
Wow.
And it didn't go on for like a short time. Okay, it was a long ass, like, it was dragged on for too long.
You know, this is very surprising for me because, you know, ever since I've been in Ratavanga, I've just seen you guys, you know, all gooey and like cutie, I love you and stuff like that. And then, you know, it's surprising to know that you guys had beef for like 4 whole years, and now you're super close. So it's really surprising, but it's also something very fun. How you could move past
Character
that.
development, bro. Character development.
Like both of us
Maturity.
matured so much. We've matured so much from like grade. I think from like grade 7 to 8 was a big change.
Yeah. No, grade 8. Grade 7, we still hated each other, bro.
Yeah, because something had happened.
Dude, Rachel, do you want to tell them about all the bitching and everything?
Okay, whatever. Let's go here.
But like Rachel, you tell your side of it once. That how you and another friend bonded with each other over hating me, dude. So like in grade 7, initial like in the Court Dana trip where everybody was crying, Rachel and I still had beef, but for some goddamn reason, Rachel and I were like sitting watching the airport and we started crying together. And do you remember that, Rachel?
Yeah. Court Dana was very emotional. Like like I don't know. Everyone was crying, so we ended up crying next to each other. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's so
Like,
weird.
we didn't even like each other. We just sat together alone, staring at the airport and cried like for like probably a good 15-20 minutes.
And I
Maybe
remember bitching about
maybe it was
Asmi.
like a keep your friends close, keep your enemies closer kind of thing that was going on there.
See, but like,
I
I want to
remember
say it
bitching
wasn't
about
passive. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
I remember bitching about Asmi like 10 minutes before like that thing happened. Because she's such a crackhead. She was like running around. There it was all cliffs. It was like stepped cliffs, right? And then she was jumping from one side to the other, like, and it was dark, so you cannot see anything below. So if she'd taken like one more step, I don't know, she would have fallen down or something. Like we can't see anything, okay? And she was just jumping like
Dude, but
crazy,
like,
like tala 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 tala.
there's just a lot of shit going on in Kordara. I don't understand. I was hiding from everyone at one
Wait,
point.
okay.
Asmi had her own problems, right? And then me and
Yeah.
Suga and everyone else had other problems, and then in the end, everyone just cried collectively. Like it was just
Okay, wait,
Yeah.
for people that don't know, I mean I know, but like I don't. So what was this whole code data thing? Was it like a field trip or was it
Oh,
like a
yeah,
yeah, it was our class trip in grade 7. They took us on like a hike.
yeah. It was a one-night trip, and we had to like sleep in tents.
Yeah. It
maybe
was it
that's
was
what
way too problematic.
And no, it's also because hormonal teenagers. I'm pretty sure
Oh
half
yeah.
of the girls are on their
Dude,
periods at that time.
everyone was PMSing so hard.
Yeah.
Like,
maybe the fatigue
Then
factored in as well. You all were so tired that your hidden suppressed emotions started showing up.
yeah. Plus, like, the trip we had before, the Kavri trip, was actually, it set very high standards for the rest of the trips. Okay? And when Kodana wasn't going as the plan, everyone was like, "Oh fuck, this is like." Wait, am I
like I
allowed to
remember
swear?
in Calgary, we there was a speaker, we were playing music, there was bonfire, and everyone was dancing, right? But in
Yeah.
Kotara, we could not, like, there was no speaker, there was no something, I don't know, there was some kind of problem, and I remember us me crying because nobody was dancing in the fire, and everyone was
There
just
was
eating their
build up to that.
sausages.
There was a shit ton of build up to
Yeah, she
that.
literally just cried because no one was dancing
That
to the
that was my
bonfire.
that was my last straw. Okay, like, I was a
Dude,
little runse, man. Dude, Udgam, if you were at
yeah.
Kordana, you'd probably like not want to be friends with any of us.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't
So
wholesome at all.
let's just keep that faulted up because I wanna be friends with you.
Yeah.
And plus you're kind
Okay.
of like my only friends.
Oh.
Udgam, what a cutie, man. Wait, Udgam, do you
Yes.
remember when, like, you remember our first interaction, eh? Like,
Yeah.
bro.
I think it was with like I think I came to a library with Shibali and then you were sitting next to her
Yeah.
and then I don't know how we talked.
I'll tell you what happened. So Shibali was sitting like beside me, and you came and sat no behind me. So you came and sat between us. You pulled a chair, and then I
Huh?
turned to you and I was like, "Hey, what's your name?" And I was like, "Oh wait, you look like of Anish. Oh, you look like Sashwat." I couldn't tell him apart, and it was so crazy to me because everybody looked the same, and Udgam wasn't helping, and I couldn't remember his name for the
Yeah,
longest time.
there's people in our school who look exactly like Udgam, like or like 2-3 months after me and Udgam became friends. Like whenever I was sitting in the dining hall eating lunch, and a guy who looked like Udgam walked in, I'm like, oh look, that's Udgam. But then I'm waiting to Udgam, and I was like, oh, that's not
Dude,
Udgam.
that happened to me. You have no idea. So there's somebody in one of my classes who looks exactly like Udgam. So I went up to them and started talking, and then I was referencing things that Udgam and I had a conversation about, right? And they were so dazed, and I didn't realize they weren't Udgam till like the next day.
You
Bro,
know,
Udgam. And I
stereotypical
tweeted,
nerds are in high supply.
bro, you're not a nerd. Actually, being a nerd isn't a bad thing. You're just big brain.
Yeah, I like being a nerd.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
you
you're
said
big
Yeah,
brain.
in
I
the last
remember I
episode you
remember
said big
literally
brain.
nothing about this interaction. All I remember is Asmi just going haywire on her, phone or her laptop. I don't remember. And then me going home to see the tweet, like I'm sitting next to
I'm sitting next to Udgam, no, Avanish. Oh wait,
yeah,
I just took everybody's name.
bitch ass. I can't differentiate. That
Yeah,
was the tweet.
so it was so confusing. You have no idea how phased I was by it.
So was that
Bruh.
the time when you called me Bruno? You were like Rachel, oh no, and then blah, blah, and then you're like Bruno.
What?
You
What?
called me Bruno.
What? I'm so confused. What is wrong with me?
You and Shivali were sitting outside and they're like, oh, look, it's Rachel. And they're like, oh, no, it's someone else. You guys said another name at the end. You're like, oh, look, it's Bruno.
No. This was more recent, Rachel. This was recent. This is when Shibali
Oh.
and I were calling everybody their pet. Okay. It sounds
Yeah.
lame. Don't judge my humor. But like we had a situation. We wanted to imagine everyone being basically your pet names instead of your own. Okay. So I was Peaches. Rachel
Yeah.
was Bruno. I can't explain my humor to y'all.
No, I mean, I understand. See, that's why we vibe.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's
I mean,
so
life-
liberating when you find people with the same sense of humor. Like
No, I
That's
mean, the
why-
thing is, it doesn't even have to be the same sense of humor. It's just they judge you a bit less than other people do. And
yeah.
that's
yeah.
satisfying in its own way. Like, I get judged
Yeah,
a lot for my
exactly.
jokes. It's only about the extent of the, judgment that people impart on me that differentiates them.
Not gonna lie, Utgam, I love your jokes. Your knock knock jokes were like I
Mm.
don't remember which I like every time you started a conversation with me in the first few weeks of after orientation, you'd come to me with a knock knock joke and I'd like use it on other people.
Still saying, library makote there memories. We have so many memories from just A1 in the library.
You know,
Like,
I know.
yeah, I mean,
To be honest, like the first part, like after I got accepted before I got accepted to UWC, I'd spend most of my time in the library doing the most whack shit. Like, I don't even know.
yeah. But like the library was such a fun place.
She's annoying people.
And then towards the latter half of the year, it just became like a bad place to go, No, it's
Yeah,
just
I
not
stopped.
because
Me
of
and
the
us
AC,
stopped
just
going
the
after the AC.
I don't know. There were so many factors that just didn't make the library feel like the library of when A1 started.
Yeah, but that's because like all of us hated the like heating, and we
Yeah.
couldn't breathe.
Yeah.
Like Rachel and I are asthmatic, so like humidity triggers
Not
us.
used in
So
there.
we just
So
heat
humid.
out. A lot of the more wild people were outside and not inside. Maybe that's why
Yeah,
it
even
took
if it
away
rained, we
from.
used to go to the library in like the first half of the
Yeah.
year. But after it started raining in the second half, we go to like an empty classroom and just chill.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to be outside most of the time though.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, because most of the people I hang out with are outside. These days I'm just outside.
Yeah.
Speaking of outside, Asmi, we have so many memories in the playground. Do you remember?
Plus,
What? Oh my god. Oh, dude, y'all don't know what. But even in grade 2, we did the same things we did in grade 2 in the playground in grade 8 to grade 10. Like, I'm sure.
We
Like,
made the
you have no idea.
tunnels. We had obstacle race in the playground.
See, okay, so the tunnels, man, like Rachel, there was one time I was going through the tunnels. So Rachel and our other friend, they were making tunnels on the slide and I had to slide through them. And something happened and the friend in above, like, I can't English, man. I've
Okay.
been out of school for too long.
So Asmi was supposed to slide in between my legs, like I was making the tunnel. Uttarika was in front of me.
It sounds so wrong.
So Uttarika was in front of me. She was making the tunnel thing too. And then Asmi, she was taking too long to climb the stairs up, like to the part where you slide down. She was taking so quickly time, and we're like, do it fast, because we're losing grip on the railings, right? And but I don't know what happened. Utparika, she just falls on me. Her butt is in my face, and we just land on the sand with her on top of me.
Bruh,
That's
that
one
was
I
one
remember
of the most
clearly.
funny shit. Like,
Yeah, it was traumatizing, but like funny, I
yeah.
guess.
I mean, bro, also another time we had an obstacle race. So I think this was my peak crackhead violence stage. So Dickie and I were racing
isn't
and we
it
were going
like
to go up the
forever?
same slide.
Osmi's peak crackhead stage is every day, all day.
Udgam,
Yeah.
Udgam, you haven't seen the worst. Udgam actually
Okay,
hasn't
that's
seen the
kinda
worst.
You were not there in grade 8
I
when
might have
Asmi was
spoken too soon.
You were not there in
Udgam,
grade 8 when Asmi was chasing people around with a dirty, wet mop. She was hitting people with a dirty,
dude,
wet
grade
mop.
8, I went through a dark stage in my life. Like grade 8, I was violent. I was unstable. That's one way to
Yeah.
put it.
Simply put,
And
then-
I think
unstable.
that's when we became friends.
Yeah, like when I started like violently beating Rachel up with like a dirty mop or like a metal bottle. I don't know what else.
You guys didn't talk and you weren't friends, and then once you started getting all violent and onto each other, then you became friends?
Character development would come.
I think in grade 8, I moved from like the violent to like quiet, like
Oh yeah, I think
opposite of what
Rachel
Asmi was.
changed. Like I think Rachel like kind of like sobered down a likati, like you know what I mean. So we weren't like, so we didn't have this so opposing energies, you know what I mean. So it like kind of worked out for us.
Yeah.
Bruh, but like the playground, Udgam, I wish we could show you like what we did, okay, like in real life. Like I wish like on my last week of school, you'd see like what shit we'd end up doing.
No, I
One
think
time,
I have like a very general outline because even now when you're at the playground, you still act like a second grader. And that's fun. That's the best part about it.
So we were climbing up the same slide, right? And we were supposed to use one side of each, like the same slide. And I pushed Dicky off the slide and I ran. And Dicky's so little compared to me. And
scared to like, she's so confused. Like Asmi pushed her. Like no, so Dicky was climbing up the stairs to get onto the slide, right? Asmi held her shoulder and just grabbed her back and like pulled her down.
oh my god, that's so much worse now that I'm hearing it from you. I think I sugarcoated it for myself, man.
Yeah, just to, reduce the guilt.
Yeah, bro.
Another memory in the playground is we were playing like seesaw, but like way more crazier version of like normal seesaw with like a bunch of ninth graders because they were like challenging us. And then I don't know how to explain it, but they just let go. And then I fell down so bad. I had a big ass I had like a super big cut on my thigh. Like it
Oh
was
my
so
God.
bad.
They were jackasses, not gonna
Yeah,
lie.
no, yeah.
Like
they're funny.
all of like Rachel, we were trying to weigh them down, right?
Yeah.
And those jackasses jumped off the seesaw, and poor Rachel came propelling down, and the seesaw, like I don't know, it was really like it was really
She just
annoying,
went
but it was
flat
really
on
funny.
the floor.
No, I hit the seesaw handles and
Oh my
themselves.
God,
I had like
okay.
bruises.
Oh,
Yeah.
That hurts.
Like don't get competitive on the seesaw with ninth
With
graders.
ninth graders, yeah.
Or anyone for that.
I mean, we're
Oh yeah.
pretty okay.
Should we
when
have a
get
safety disclaimer?
Yeah, do not try this at home. It was done by
Yeah.
trained professionals in a very professional environment.
Dude, actually though, don't do what we did.
Yeah.
Bro, so dude, like you know how you face front like forwards when you slide down the slide. We
Yeah.
forced Rachel to look the other direction and just slide without like even like thinking. It was pretty. I don't
Like,
know what was
slide from
wrong
the
with
back.
us.
That is actually dangerous. Like,
We clearly didn't think things through. Oh, wait, like we talked about like how we met and like whatever, but like Uttam, what was your first interaction like with Rachel? Like, what did you think of her like initially?
so our first interaction, like the majority of it was digital, right? So then,
Yeah.
you know about the group chat. So we are in the group chat, and then
Oh,
the group chat was pretty explicit, and it was pretty much on your face, right? The things they sent, the things they talked about. And you
Right.
you don't usually see a silent girl like Rachel because she was pretty silent in school. And then she was like all into those, all into the conversation. And I was like, whoa, she's cool. She knows her stuff. And I thought she was pretty
bruh.
cool.
I forgot that
Yeah,
Rachel
me
and
too.
y'all were in that group, man.
I mean, the
Yeah.
group still exists.
The group is still there.
you-
Shout out to Area 51. Oh, no, wait. Me and the boys and a girl. That's what the group's name is.
Now it's a Joe Rogan fan club.
Oh my God,
Bruh,
really?
is it still active?
Of course it is.
Sometimes.
What? Seriously?
Last
I
time
mean,
was
but
13 hours ago.
the thing
same
is,
type of
it's
conversations we used to
shifted
get.
from memes and jokes to love life and everything, and I don't indulge in it as often, but every once in a
Oh, yeah,
while I go back.
I was there for this one guy too. Like he had like love. I think everyone was.
Dude, I remember Rachel. Like Rachel would tell us about how like the meme guys would like have relationship problems, and she'd counsel them through it. And I was like, oh god.
Oh, yeah. And then there was Dylan. There was some beef too. Like, do you remember like
Beef?
Dylan, Gucci Gamer?
Oh my
Gum.
God. Okay, that's something for like a whole different episode. Because,
Wait,
just the
you-
covering the group chat might take us like half an hour. Talking about first impressions, I want to talk a bit about my first impression of Asmi. My first impression of Asmi happened in like the first week's orientation. It wasn't when we met in the library. Okay? She was like,
Bye. I'm gone. I don't want to hear this. I know what's coming.
No, I mean, now we know that you're a cool person, right? But back then, every time someone asked a question, Asmi was literally jumping on her seat. And every time she came up front, she was so arrogant and scary, like she would eat you up.
What? Okay,
Yeah.
I did. Okay, in my defense, this is what's happened. Right during the SE break, I had to come and I was a substitute teacher for the students of grade 7. So I felt bad when nobody else was interacting with the teachers because I know what that felt like, and I was like, oh shit, like I gotta swoop in. I didn't realize I was being obnoxious because now that I think about it, oh my god, I want to like lynch myself at this point.
No,
But
but I
oh my
mean,
god.
and then when I met you and when we talked in person, I was like, okay, I was on the wrong there.
Yay. See, that's the same thing with everybody. Like
Annoying and like obnoxious, but like when you get to know her, she's pretty.
But that's like when you're
Yeah.
at a distance, when you don't know her personally and you just see
Yeah.
her.
See, like that's me. Like I don't know. I think like I change drastically when I like go into like MUNs or like esto, situations where you need to like put, I don't know, make a stance. I don't know what I was trying to prove, but I wasn't trying to prove anything. Yeah.
So, do you remember what your first impression of Rachel was? It's like probably 12 years in the past, but maybe a
Dude, I have an
glimpse.
amazing memory. I remember Rachel. So she came in with a fountain pony, right? And I was like, oh, like she has no, she didn't come in with a fountain pony. That
No,
was
my
later.
fountain pen
She
was in
had
grade
a
three.
she had
Boys Scout.
a boy's cut, right? And I
Yeah.
noticed her instantly. But I think you were friends with another person, like that person, and y'all were kind of like, I don't know. Rachel was a little bit of a meanie. Like
Yeah, I agree. I
she
agree.
was
I'm not.
she
I wasn't.
she she was a meanie,
I
and
wasn't.
I think like I just didn't like Rachel when I met her. Like
Yeah, I
like
think
she was
she come
one.
to school in like pigtails.
Yeah, I used to come with pigtails.
Yeah, she was like.
I was a good no. The thing is, I was like the Asmi you know now. Udgam is not the Asmi you that was in grade 1. Okay, like I
Yeah.
changed a lot. Like
I don't know.
I was
I just
really
didn't like Asmi because she was us. I just didn't
yeah.
like her.
Even I can. It was, but like yeah, we're friends now. I think that's what matters.
You all
Yeah.
talked about hairstyles and ponytails. So I just want to share this funny thing that happened to me in the 4th grade, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I went to the barber's, right? My hair was pretty long, and then I was like, just give me a mohawk. So he gives me a mohawk, right? Oh, a full
What?
ass mohawk. And then I walk into the school bus, and everyone's like, whoa, you got a mohawk, right? And that was probably one of the most awkward moments in my life. And I just wanted to shift the blame so quick. I went around telling everyone that my mom told the barber to give me a mohawk. And I'm
What
not
the
really
hell?
cool in theory.
Yeah.
But you know what? Maybe I should have owned up to it. Would have made me a cool kid a lot sooner.
Imagine
like,
Udgam
I
in a
could
mohawk. Okay, we know how he looked like when he was a kid. Now just imagine that face with a mohawk. Oh my god.
I'm trying to. I can't imagine it. Oh my god! Like Gum is such a baby face. I can't imagine his face mohawk.
I mean, I did look pretty cool. I totally rocked the look. It was back when mohawks were totally in style, but like
Yeah.
not 4th grade
Yeah.
style, but still in style. So speaking, how Osmi tweeted out the first time I met. So we've decided to have this fun little segment because we're gonna do this fun segment where we're gonna look through Osmi's tweets, find some of the funniest and the weirdest tweets, and she's gonna have to explain tweets.
Yeah, because
I'm
like
actually
the thing
concerned
Asmi-
for this.
the things Asmi tweets is like things that she's been laughing for like an hour, and then she finds it funny, and then she just goes onto it and like just types whatever's making her laugh so hard, even though it's like the most random
I'm
thing.
genuinely scared for this, man. Like
Oh,
I don't
and-
know what I've said.
Yeah, and
Also,
then
my
on
first
the
Twitter
other
account got deleted because apparently when I made it in like 2013,
Yeah.
I put a much older date, and they asked me for my birthday for confirmation, and then they like deleted my account. So that was tragic.
Yeah, I've gone easy on you. I've just used the new Twitter account. Let's just start off easy, okay? So the first tweet I have is on December 4th, 2017. Osmi tweeted out, mayonnaise, more like may off nays.
No,
Do you
no.
have any idea what this tweet was about, or was it just half asleep Osmi writing something?
I remember writing this tweet. Okay, so December 4th, 2017. Okay, so this is when I was making puns, right? I thought I was really good at puns. This was my puns phase, right? And I think
My
I was
life.
on call with Ming. I
Yeah.
believe I was on call with someone, and I was like, ha ha ha, look at my puns, like I'm this funny.
like Asmi back when her pun stage is like Udgam at his knock knock stage right now.
Yeah.
Dude, the thing is, I've been on my knock knock stage for like 6 years straight. So
I'm so glad I grew out of my pun stage, honestly. Like, my sense of humor is whack enough.
Okay, this one's a bit subtle. So on January 2nd, 2020, Asmi tweeted out, I didn't listen to my mom and now I have a cold. She is most definitely not making me write this. Now watch me making me write this.
No. It's just funny. It's comedic effect. But my mom was really rubbing it in that time. January was really cold and I was drinking like tea so coke or like some jipate, and I wasn't wearing warm clothes because I'm a dumbass. I was wearing a one hoodie and I was just walking around
Dude,
places.
okay, so now we're moving on to the Strictly Come dancing phase of Asmi, and I'd like, we want to talk a bit about it. So on October
Oh yeah.
15, 2019, Asmi tweeted out, and I kid you not, this is an actual tweet. She tweeted out, what? No, no, no.
All caps.
Full tweet, all caps. Div.
Wait, how many likes
So-
does that have? One. Yeah, that's how many people care about that.
It was one, and see, I'm so glad you all haven't like tracked down all my comments and like all my hate. Like, I hated on Strictly Come Dancing hard. Like, I went on their website and wrote a
No,
shit ton of comments.
there's another tweet that says, if your voting system wasn't that messed up, maybe, and stuff like that.
I was salty. Dude, I was salty. No, okay, I'm gonna defend them. They weren't that bad. They were on top of the leaderboard, and their voting lines were messed up that day.
Oh,
And
okay.
the other couple that stayed in the competition was fucked up.
Yeah,
But I liked
so
them in the end.
There's one tweet that perfectly captures how Asmi is when Strictly Come Dancing is on air. It literally says, and she tweeted out herself, you have been warned, it's strictly night, y'all.
I think she tweeted out because we've been bothering her about like we're asking her when is it so that we can just shut Asmi off when the new episode airs out, like because it gets that annoying.
Yeah, and that time was when this time like people who didn't know me were following me on Twitter, so I was like, okay, like I'll have to just like disclaimer because I'm a nice person. But I didn't realize how shitty that show was till Diane and Dev got knocked out, man. Like, honestly broke my heart.
Okay, now for another tweet. This one is something that I personally enjoy. I had a lot of fun. I was the one who made this. So we were I don't know what the topic of conversation was. We were talking about, okay, so I don't know what the topic of conversation was, but then it just came up, right? So the cringy Uniglobe ad.
I think everybody knows Globe College.
So we made a little Osmi rendition of that tweet. So I'm just gonna play it for you all real quick.
This is my great-grandfather. He went to University College of London. My grandfather. He studied in Oxford University. That's my father. He went to Australian National University, ANU. Come. Well, this is when I was...
My dog. She studies in Uniglobe College.
Secondary School and College, Kamaladi, Kathmandu.
It's super fun, and we had a great time laughing at it. I absolutely love this. Like I could watch it all day.
Dude, this is me being a crackhead. Like, if y'all know me, you know I'm obsessed with my dog. Like, even though she fights with me sometimes and we don't really get along. But so I was on call with someone. I remember I was on call with someone and we were laughing our asses off about this. And I got an idea and I recorded it and I sent it to someone.
No, you sent it in the group.
Oh yeah. Okay, now that makes sense. But oh my god, like I spent the whole last night laughing at this video. Like I showed it to my mom, I showed it to my sister. They stared at me like I was crazy, but it was so funny.
Okay.
Bruh.
Another one. This one personally traumatizes me. Okay. So it goes, my nephew just put Peppa Pig under his toy truck, killed her, and started laughing sadistically. I'm pretty sure I should be scared.
I mean,
My nephew.
Mine is she's so cute, right? But like Asmi's is just scary. Like the things she talks about, her nephew doing is just scary.
See, the thing is, my nephew, he is such a sweet kid. Like he comes to me, he hugs me, and he's like, "Oh, like whatever." But like,
Wait, Asmi,
oh my god!
there's another reply to this tweet by Asmi.
Wait, no,
Peppa,
no,
why are you
no. That
underneath
is.
my car? Winky face.
I need y'all to know that this wasn't me.
Oh wait, I can see that. It's
I
a
didn't-
week apart. It's a week apart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd have to be insane to just go back to my tweet and write shit like this.
That
But
would
yeah,
be very
he's
Asmi-like.
hey. I
Okay,
know
okay.
my sanity is worth being questioned, but don't put me in the spotlight like that, Uttam. I'm a cutie. Also,
Yo,
my
like,
nephew, when he did that, he wasn't like he was so happy doing it. I was scared. Like he's my nephew. Like that's how you know. Because I've done kind of whack shit. And oh my
Okay.
god, what is this next tweet?
This next tweet is okay. This is the last tweet we're gonna talk about. It's Asmi being a nice, genuine person and apologizing to the Twitter community.
and she got no likes on that.
She says, apologies to the Twitter community for the spam. It was necessary. But you know, the no like shows that an apology was not enough.
Yeah,
for
no one
everything
Dude.
to go through.
See, like people are just mean.
You know what? I'm just
I know.
gonna drop a like.
I think I'm gonna like my own tweet now, like just to
I'll
make myself feel
retweet it
better
as
about
well.
it.
Because I'm a nice person, I'm gonna retweet
What
it.
a cutie. See, this is why Udgam is one of the least toxic people on Twitter. There aren't toxic people on Twitter, but like,
Yeah,
I
Twitter
mean,
is like
Twitter
just a
isn't very
small
toxic.
group of us.
Oh my god, Asmi, do you remember that time when I came up with hydrogen juice and then, I created a petition and then you were all voicing for it?
oh, right. And you put it on Urban Dictionary. I remember. Oh my god,
It's
that was
there.
such a thing.
Yeah.
Oh shit, now I'm looking at the
My
video.
problem with this was water is hydrogen and oxygen, right? But he only acknowledges hydrogen. I'm like, where's the oxygen?
Juice
I
has
think-
water.
Rachel, it's
Juice
2
can
is to
be
1.
anything.
2 hydrogen to
Juice
1
can be
oxygen.
anything.
The hydrogen
And I think it
outweighs
was-
the oxygen. Come on.
I came up with a better
Exactly.
name with Anjish. It is hydroxy elixir.
I'm getting
That's
Do we
triggered right
give?
now. I'm getting
Okay,
so
tell me
triggered.
what
So
sounds
small and
more
hydrogen
hip.
juice.
Hydrogen's juice sounds so much better. Juice has
Hydrogen
water, Rachel.
Or no, but juice can be anything. It can have orange. It can have like a
Okay,
apple,
but
banana, like
if
pineapple.
you drink strawberry juice, you don't call it strawberry water. You call it strawberry juice.
Exactly.
You're essentially drinking hydrogen in juice form. So it's hydrogen juice.
Hydroxy
And-
elixir.
Okay,
I'll put the link to the petition in the description. I want everyone to go and sign it because we're gonna make
Oh,
a
yes.
tweet happen.
no, hydrogen juice needs to be a thing.
Yeah.
Also, elixir is glorifying water. Okay, water is great and all, but you can't call it elixir. It's not the same thing.
Yeah, water is for the
Hydrogen
common people,
juice.
You gotta
Like,
get to their level, appeal to the common people.
yeah, you can't call it elixir.
Not everyone drinks an
Hydrogen
elixir.
juice. Hydrogen juice, bro. Hydrogen juice.
Yola,
I stand by Udgam.
Yeah, I stand by
Rachel, our
myself.
logic makes sense.
What?
It makes sense.
No oxygen. I don't see oxygen. But it should be just called juice. Because like juice has hydrogen too.
Yeah,
No.
it's just hydrogen juice.
It's
all the way,
hydrogen
Rachel.
juice.
No.
There's no two ways about this. It's just hydrogen juice all the way from now.
Hydro-
Yeah.
Hydroxy
End of conversation.
elixir. Hydroxy elixir.
Rachel is cancelled. Should we
Start
end
a
it now?
start a
Like,
cancel Rachel party
Yeah.
on Twitter. Okay, so with that we've come to the end of our podcast. So I'd just like to say a few words to Asmi because like we have most of our morning classes together, like from social, psycho, lit lang, like and even our free periods, it's all together. So I'm really gonna miss her not being in my
Bro,
class.
don't make me cry.
Like a big chunk of my morning will just be gone because Asmi's not there. It's gonna be so sad.
You guys have been friends for
Yeah.
12 years. I've known Asmi for like 8-9 months, right? But then I still feel such a connection with her. She was like one of the coolest people, and then she was so much fun. I guess we're gonna be missing out on that fun now that she's leaving. It's pretty
Y'all are
sad,
being
bro.
too nice to me, man.
Yeah, Asmi will miss you.
Wait,
Everyone will
okay,
miss you.
okay. Asmi, I just want to ask you one
What
question.
happened?
Wait. Yeah.
What do you think China's gonna be like when you go there for
Wait, no,
UWC?
my earphone fell out. Sorry, my earphone fell out. Can you ask me again?
So, like, with everything that's going on, what do you think China's gonna be like when you finally go there? do you think it's gonna be like weird and eerie, and you're gonna live in constant fear, or you're just gonna have like the time of your life?
I don't think I'll be living in constant fear, man. Like if China lets me in, Abba, it's
Yeah, that's
because
true.
the situation is contained, right? Plus, my school is on an island in the middle of a lake, so that makes so much of a difference from just yeah. I mean, like if I do end up going to China, which I probably will, it's because the situation's contained. So I don't think I'll be living in constant fear. It's just that it's weird. Like if anything, I'll be like I'm more concerned about leaving my friends behind. Like I'm not that concerned about the coronavirus or anything
Aw,
or such.
ask me being a
So
total cutie for
it's more
30 minutes.
hey hey, I'm a cutie for like all the time, Utgam.
Yeah,
It's
okay.
just like
Correction. I stand corrected.
yes. But yeah, I mean hopefully it isn't as bad later on. I'm actually concerned if I have to like waste another year if I you know what I'm saying, like because I have to repeat
Yeah.
11
Yeah.
anyway, and if I
Yeah.
end up going, if it extends any further, it takes a lot away from the rest of my education, you know what I mean?
You'll be 19 if
Dude, thank you all for having me on this podcast. Honestly, this was
I think
so
the
much fun.
podcast just got like 10 times better just because Asmi was on it.
yeah. I have a
Bro,
lot of
don't
fun.
flatter me. Y'all playing like this is your first podcast was so entertaining. I listened to it twice, like in the same, like in one sitting. Like I genuinely enjoyed your content, man. Like if anything, I hope this go like y'all upload consistently because I'll definitely be listening.
I mean, that's the
From
goal.
China.
Yeah, from China, I'll support you there. I'll make my homies at UWC listen in.
Yeah. New homies.
New homies.
Okay,
New homies.
so Asmi, can you do a goodbye for us in your typical Connie voice? Because that's something I've been dying to hear.
No!
Please,
Connie.
Asmi.
We want Connie.
Bruh, Connie's dead. Okay,
Aw.
wait. Let me channel my inner Connie. My name is Connie and I'd like to say bye.